Alright, everyone, kobolds and audience alike, everyone please gather around. I have a little bit of parental guidance for you. So much like The Merchant of Venice, diners, drive-ins, and dice might include violence and gore, profanity, alcohol, drugs and smoking, frightening and intense scenes, as well as, of course, nudity. But not to worry, it's just me, Sparkeloneous. I don't wear pants ever, and I don't have genitals. Now, come on then, fellow kobolds, I expect you to be off book by the time I get back. I've got to make a quick trip to Decorum to check on my stage manager, Barson. Tally-ho!
Hello everybody and welcome back to Dungeons, Drive-Ins, and Dice, a wider world. Damn it. I've had such a long week. This is a wider world. And
do you want me to come in and go with a DM
too.
intro?
That would be great. I've had a terribly long week. That would be incredible.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Dungeons, Drive-Ins, and Dice, a wider world, a live play role-playing campaign that goes on as it goes on. I am your friend and dungeon master, game master, general fun friend to have around, Gabe Stringer. When last we left our folks, we had just bested Iron Bones and come upon a whole other situation that we are now somehow responsible for. We left off just before getting the down low on that situation, so that's sort of where we are going to come back in. But first, let us introduce to you and to each other once again our table mates.
I'm Im, and I play Haribo Tamagotchi, the changeling artificer of the group, not of this world. What's the question of the week, Dungeon Master?
We're gonna low-hanging fruit this, and also I think we've played enough episodes for this question. This is just like general character perspective vibe check. Where are your characters at with the happenings? It seems like we've come upon some stuff at this point. So how's everyone feeling?
This has been a roller coaster. We saved Koryak. That was an up. We got Gib on the team. That felt goofy for a while, and I think Haribo was enjoying the goofs of that. The fights Haribo has not been feeling the best on until that last one. That one he like felt that he understood what was happening and understood the assignment. But the Gib death in the middle of the fight was like hard for Haribo, so he was like reeling from that, and then sure he came back to life, but there was still like, toss and turn, roller coaster of emotions going on right now. And he has a huge focus. Haribo is torn all over the place right now. I feel like much like me when I look at an RPG like quest list, I'm always like, oh god, way too many quests. There's too many things to read through, and I just have to go through like a few by a few, Haribo is feeling that way kind of right now. He's like, there's goblins, and we definitely have to go over here, but there's something to take care of over there also. We have to go back to the town. We have to do all this. We've talked to this guy, and also my belt is now doing a thing, and like it just is like one thing on top of another, and he's feeling very frantic at the moment.
Hi, my name is Lawrence, and I play the gelatinous bard Sparkeloneous. Sparkleoneous is actually having a pretty decent time. Nice chill vibes. He wasn't really aware that Gib death happened until it had already been sort of situated, so that didn't affect him quite as much. Sparkeloneous, I think, is most enjoying not being the weirdest person in the room. That seems to have worked out pretty well following this party around. Sparkeloneous is certainly a character, but he's definitely feels like he's taken a second stage to the happenings that have been recently happening. The changelings, and then the tiger changelings, and it's not just Sparkeloneous that can change his shape at this current party. And there's a dwarf that's tall. That's weird. So yeah, Sparkeloneous is just enjoying himself.
Sort of an uphill. It feels like an uphill argument to at any point ever call Sparkeloneous not the strangest one in the room.
You gotta understand, I'm coming at it from Sparkeloneous' perspective.
No,
Sparkeloneous has always just been Sparkeloneous.
He is the gelatinous gentleman, but also he's kind of a country bumpkin a little bit. So yeah, okay. From his perspective, I'm following.
He's just here to vibe. Yeah, like I think when you meet our squad, he's the weirdest one. But when you vibe check the squad,
Sparkeloneous is also becoming
even
increasingly
keel.
more wary of the next person who's about to introduce themselves.
which is
Hi, my name is Grace Stringer, and I play Margery Ridgeback, the necromancer healer person that also has minor cat shifting, which was something that I learned last week. Player Grace is feeling what Em was describing of looking at the task list. Like, there are things I don't even remember that we have to do, probably. Margery does feel like a little bit bad about the Gib death thing, but to be fair, she was just like, she thought someone was trying to interfere with the happenings, the big fight, and so, you know, shoot first, ask questions later is kind of the urch before you get urched, you know?
I mean, if we gave you a gun,
I would. If you give me a fantasy gun, I will shoot first.
If you give a girl a gun.
But yeah, I think she just feel bad. She got a new scythe. That was exciting. Or it's not a scythe. It's a what is it? The hand
scythe?
just.
we did
sickle.
say it was a sickle. I am perfectly fine with calling it a scythe. I found a damage number for a scythe, and I like the aesthetics of a scythe so much better for you.
Yeah.
If you were fine with having not a shield.
Yeah, that's fine. But in my head, I pictured it not like scythe, traditional scythe shaped. I want it to be a sickle on a long stick. I like the really intense curve of a sickle.
Kind of like a shepherd's hook. Like a shepherd's crook kind of.
But like, because the Grim
blade.
Reaper scythe is just like a little bit of a curve. I want like a curvaceous
Okay.
weapon.
Well, I am going to give you a farm implement, and you are more than welcome to take that into Lord Thorn, our wonderful Lord Blacksmith, and have it modified for a small
I'm gonna
fee.
find a farm implement with a curved blade.
It's a polearm sickle.
Full-armed sickle. All right, heard.
Mhm.
Let's see what's there.
And I am Michael. I am playing the dwarven fighter Thaddeus Ofkoot, who is just on cloud 9 right now because he bested Iron Bones in single combat. So he is really feeling his role of being the protector of the squishies right about now. So
And you got a crop top.
yeah, yes. He's just so giddy. He's not really too concerned about the quest list at this point because he's still just reveling in the recent victory.
I absolutely love that he feels that way because Haribo is also stoked about having delivered the final blow. He was so stoked.
Yeah, that was a pretty good listen on the live re-listen. So I am stoked. I'm stoked for that one.
I didn't even think to do it. Honestly, I was just so busy, but I am excited too.
I had to for all that XP because 3 members of our party got a juicy level up at the end of last session. Everyone now is level 3, and that means that I can stop pulling my punches.
Now if we die, it's our fault.
Training wheels are off.
We come back in right basically where we left off last episode, with everyone in the entrance to the cave, getting the lowdown from our kobold friend, whose name I didn't write down, but it will come to me as I talk, and it is Atrick. Atrick, the blue kobold with the stick, who very nearly kicked the bucket last session, but due to some great player teamwork, he's still here. He's still here to give us some exposition and also maybe to lead the kobolds since we're taking Gip.
Definitely.
So, what questions? If you want me to use Adric's voice, unfortunately, you're going to have to ask him questions as far as things go. But I can give you Gabe can give you a lowdown on like the Reader's Digest of what he says if you want to take it that way.
I mean, I thought as far as we talked to Atrick that we set up a plan we were basically ready to leave, I think, like expositionally, that we have talked with Atrick that we will return. We're taking half of their money because we're going to return and deal with the situation. So we've taken half of their 400, so we get 200 split between the four of us, so 50 gold each, if I recall.
Correct.
It's cool. So we left them with a little over 200 gold to pay their next
They have 220 gold. This month, they will be able to pay their 200 gold to the dragon that demands tribute from them.
Yeah.
That's enough gold now.
Right. It was interesting. Like right before the cave, we got 4 gold, and we were like splitting it up pennant style, and then now we have 50 gold. It's just like 50 gold for you, 50 gold for me, 50 gold for you.
Yeah, we'll be back to give you guys dragon money. Yeah.
But yeah, we did tell them that they should start basic trainings, right? And that we would return soon to actually train them up with the idea that they're gonna work more for the merchants passing the road to protect them from all manner of everything else.
I believe Thaddeus left them with some dwarven katas.
In which we will also go
Yes,
talk
he
to
did.
the dragon for them to talk about, like, maybe this changes what their deal is. I don't quite know. But we did say that, or I said that I would go talk to the dragon for them. If everyone else would like to join me, that would be cool. But I did make that promise myself.
Another one for the quest list.
Yeah, I'll get there.
Okay, then that works. You guys take your 50 gold.
Yeah,
Road
we definitely
campaigns.
told them we were busy. So we were like, we have to go deal with the goblin situation first. But after we deal with the goblin situation, which in our brain, I guess when we made this pitch, it wasn't going to take longer than a second tribute would take, in that we could get back and make something happen. We're hoping. I'm hoping. Haribo's hoping. M doesn't care.
I think that all makes sense. Let's see. So then you take your well-earned gains and you mosey your way back to civilization. Traipsing through the woods, I assume. Are we taking any marching order? Are we making any checks?
Thaddeus would want to be out front.
Haribo is
Okay.
distracted. He is...
Sparkeloneous is right behind Thaddeus.
No.
Okay.
So
No.
I think Thaddeus is probably still a little distracted to be doing any checks or looking around, because he's singing dwarven battle songs mostly in his head as they wander down the road.
Sparkeloneous is accompanying, but he's also got his head on a swivel. And by his head, I mean he's on a swivel.
Haribo is moving quickly, purposefully, but quietly. He's not sneaking, but he is just lost in thought as he moves.
I got a 15 on my perception check.
Okay.
What about Margery? How's Margery moving? What's her focus while she's moving?
Margery is probably, before I've been in the back peeping with my good perception peeps. So it sounds like me and Gib are in the back. Unless I don't know where Gib is, but since he has not been mentioned in the order, I'm assuming he's in the back with me. I think she's just thinking about all the things that she's learned in the past. Killing Gib on accident, but then bringing him back. That kind of success probably feels good. So there's a lot to think about there. Like I was able to do that. That's pretty neat.
Then you guys make your way through the woods. I think Thaddeus roll survival with advantage since you're in the lead as far as navigating our way back home. Our usual survivalist is lost in thought.
About a nat 20.
Ooh,
Hey, wow. Okay,
good start.
nice.
Got him.
Okay, then you guys make your way through the forest. Thaddeus, you think that you are taking the way back that you took, but you must have made a wrong turn somewhere, because at some point along the journey, perhaps 2 hours into what should be a 7-hour trek by your reckoning, is a trail that branches off. It is entirely covered in moss. It leads downhill, and the path ahead down that trail is shrouded in mist. However, you are convinced that if you take the trail that you are on, you will arrive back in town on time.
I would want to stop and confer with the group and point out this moss-covered misty trail that I have perceived.
Can I roll to perceive what he's perceived? Now that I'm looking at it, what if there's
Pointing
something?
right at
I
it.
guess investigate the trail.
Investigate the trail.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure, yeah. See what's going on with this trail.
Trail, what are you?
Not very much. That's only a 9.
Ooh, your urchin senses don't tell you a whole lot about wooded trails. It's weird there not being walls. It's nice that there's trees sort of obstructing your line of sight. The plains were really disorienting, but discerning value in here, it's tough. It's all green. I don't know.
Seems about right.
Haribo, give a quick peek if we're stopped. Nope, still distracted. That's gonna be a 6. I think
Can you make
we
it
should.
different? What skill were you using?
Probably just perception, just like to see if he can notice anything down the path. Right? He doesn't, and he says, "I think we should keep moving. We should really get back to Dekram."
So should we mark this path in some manner so we would notice it on our way back by?
We could. Do we know where we are in regards to everywhere else in the map? That it would be accurate?
Yeah. With a nat 20, absolutely. You could definitely find this spot again.
Oh, cool. Let's mark.
Okay.
Let's mark it on the map and return on our way back.
Okay.
Mysterious trail added to the quest list.
Damn it.
I love, in my mind's eye, I'm just picturing all of us walking, and then Mike notices it and like points, and then I go and put my hands on my hips, look at it. Yeah, it's a trail. And then M goes and looks at it. Oh, yeah, that's also a trail. Let's keep moving, though.
And then a quest ping happens, and Haribo says, "Nope, hold the fuck up."
I mean, you decided to mark it on the map.
Damn
Sparkeloneous
it.
shrugs. I gotta get back, visit my boy boss, and gotta make sure he didn't get up into too much trouble.
It's true. We got to see what he got up to. You gave him some money.
Gotta
What
see
does
if
this
he's run up
what does
another
this tab
tab.
look like?
Yeah.
Gave him a small amount of silver.
Okay, so we leave behind the mossy glade and make our way back to Dekram. Has Dekram changed in our absence? Largely no, I would say. When we arrive in town, what is our first destination?
Well, we gotta go visit the Lord.
Before we
Everyone
even
ready to go visit the Lord?
before we
Sounds
even
like no.
before we even get into town, we're bad. Like as we pass Haribo's yurt, Haribo says, "I have some work I must take care of in my house. If you folks wouldn't mind taking care of conversing with the Lord, and maybe if Wilhelm fella also needs to be conversed with,
We'll tell Wilhelm to come to your place. Then we'll and then we'll all reconvene here and have a conversation with him. Party at yours.
Yeah, sure. I guess that's fine. I just don't. I don't even know if after we talk to the Lord, if we'll need to talk to Wilhelm yet, because we're still waiting
Want me
on.
to roll a persuasion check?
We're not finished. We're just turning in. Sure. I mean, do whatever you want. We're still not. We haven't finished the goblin thing, so I don't know that the Lord is
we're
exactly.
going to do that
stoked.
first, regardless of what Wilhelm says. But what if it's on the way?
It's good to check in with him. Nonetheless. But yes, I'm gonna leave the conversing with the Lord to you guys, and I'm going to take care of some stuff in my yurt. And Haribo starts trucking up the hill.
All right, we will return to Haribo and his yurt somewhere further along in the narrative. I think Thaddeus, actually, with your nat 20 there, I'm going to give you one more fun fact. As you are coming around the hill from Haribo's place, you see to the south smoke rising from somewhere out in the pine forest.
Okay.
Yep. That's it.
I will make sure to point that out to my fellow companions, minus Haribo, who's not with us at the moment.
Do you think
So
the Lord would want
Sparkeloneous.
to know about the smoke?
Probably.
I will probably mention it because I'm part of his guard, and it's something I would make him aware of. So,
Yeah, we'll see what he says about it.
although being his guard, I can almost guarantee you that he's going to tell us, "Why don't you take a look at it while you're out and about?"
Is it on the way? Maybe we should have Wilhelm fella meet us at the smoke.
We'll have to go back to tell Haribo that, though. He thinks we're meeting at his place.
All right, let's go now. Just kidding.
go.
Everyone's gonna talk to
He's
the
just
Lord.
some guy you met.
It's
Oh.
You don't
true.
have to, you don't have to include him on everything. He seems
true.
very busy with his own stuff.
Let's go talk to the Lord about the fire
Yeah.
and other things.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is early evening when you guys arrive back in town. Thaddeus, you know that tonight, because it is Thursday, the Lord is going to be in the bar.
That is even better.
So that's where he's going to be. As you come in, you know the Lord is in the tavern.
Well, then we should head to the tavern to meet with the Lord and refresh ourselves.
Oh, very good. I imagine that's where Boston is as well.
Sparkeloneous, roll a perception check.
I've got a 19.
Hey, that's a good number. Sparkeloneous, as you guys are headed in to the bar to Sylvana's, you hear a very characteristic snore. It's coming from the stables.
Oh, I've been in this situation before. Well, since we're heading to the bar, it's best not to wake him. We'll come back after we've concluded our business there. I double check and make sure that it's sparse, and I lean my body over into the stable pen.
I mean, now that you've said that, I have to roll. If I roll a 1, it's not Barson, and I have to make up someone else. Okay, no, it's Barson.
Yep, that's what I thought. All right. well,
Yep.
he needs
Barson
his
is
beauty
he's
rest.
passed out. He's got a blanket.
That's
There are
nice.
fewer bottles in the back of the wagon than you would surmise.
How expensive would you say this blanket looks?
Not.
Got it.
He may have found it.
Got it. Yeah. No, let's get a move on before he wakes up. We'll come and
He's
find him
surviving.
later. He'll be all right.
Oh, buddy. Surviving but not thriving.
I don't know. I mean, Barson
Boston
seems happy
thriving,
most of the
actually.
time. Okay, so now that we've checked in on him, into the bar. The bar is loud and boisterous. Many groups of people are huddled around the various tables and booths along the walls. The bar stools are more full than empty. Thursday is a popular night here at Sylvana's. There's no one currently up on stage, but you do see Sparkeloneous with your excellent 19 perception. You do see Lutimus tuning his lute near the stage. He's looking at it. He's looking at it hungrily.
Sparkeloneous shouts, "Hey, Lutimus! Good luck tonight!"
He smiles at you. He gives you a thumbs up. Another
Sparkeloneous
shout
leans-
rings out.
Sparkeloneous leans over to Thaddeus. That guy's gonna bomb.
Right. After
Oh,
you
shit.
call out to Lutimus, a loud voice rings out across the bar. Hail to the conquering heroes! I trust you've dealt with our nuisance problem, yes? And looking across the bar, you see, tucked into a booth, is Lord Ungar Thorn. He raises a tankard to all of you, and the bar, as is their wont, all raises their tankards to you and goes rah. And then he does beckon after the tumult has died down. He doesn't necessarily beckon to all three of you, so what do the three of you do?
Well,
Sparkeloneous
I would
goes and
certainly
sits
go
down
over
at the
to the
booth.
Lord.
If Sparkeloneous can beat Thaddeus over to the booth, he's gonna sit down.
Okay, we'll resolve that here in a second. Margery, what's up?
Is there what else? Anyone else of note do I happen to see in the bar?
Just a perception check. Perception check me.
Oh, fair
More
enough.
notable than Lutimus, that's like a given.
And the two of you are going to have a dexterity contest.
That was
unfortunately,
very
to see who can get to the Lord fastest.
You're not gonna like this, Thaddeus.
What did you just roll?
A natural 20.
No. I don't know why I'm even gonna bother rolling. Yeah, because
He looks over where
Experience.
Sparkeloneous was, and then he looks back, and Sparkeloneous is next to the Lord.
Already at the table.
Always roll at every opportunity. It's my best way to give you experience.
I don't know if you can see it, but it's a nat 20.
No!
Dex modifier check.
Oh
Dex
my
modifier off?
god!
Yeah,
Double
I
nat
think
20.
you may lose this one.
They
I think I am
sit
gonna
on
lose
each
this
other's
one.
My
laps.
dex modifier is a +3.
Mine is a 1. You just Don't even think about it. You don't even worry about it. I am just goopy right behind you, but not fast enough to get around you.
I am blown away.
Thaddeus, you put a hand into Sparkeloneous, pushing him aside to get to the Lord faster. You arrive at the Lord with some Sparkeloneous on you.
Stuff.
I don't know how that feels, but you don't notice until you get to the Lord, because you're very focused on doing exactly what he commands.
Well, you almost pushed my pot out of me.
Just right out the back of him. You don't actually push Sparkeloneous, but when you push his pot out, you make him chase his pot, so it's like you pushed him.
The mind movie of that is very silly.
It's so funny.
The Lord looks at you, Thaddeus. You can tell from your knowledge of the Lord that he has already had a few tankards of whatever is in them. And he says, Thaddeus, I trust everything went well. Mission report.
My lord. And I would give him the full report. Well, I'm going to keep it brief, knowing that he's already
Yeah, what are the essential details that you give?
on his way to being inebriate. That we discovered the goblins. We've addressed the goblin problem.
He says kobolds.
Oh, yes, that's it. Apparently on my way over, I grabbed several tankards and drank them myself. So
His breath is just so strong that you're
Yeah,
getting
I'm
drunk
just
off.
like, and let him know that we discovered the stronghold. We've dealt with the leader of the stronghold. There's additional work to do we would love his advice upon, but the immediate threat has been curtailed.
Sparkeloneous, what do you have to say? Anything?
Well-
You just hanging out?
To be honest, I was going to tell him a funny little story, a little bit of preamble, but instead
Well,
I
he's
think I'm
looking at
going
you.
to do this, seeing at the Lord's state at this moment. Check this shit out, Lord Unglar. And Sparkeloneous slams his hand on the table in front of everyone here, and his horn sort of comes out of his side, and he plays a jaunty little tune. And as Sparkeloneous lifts up his hand, we see, as if created magically, an anvil with a little dude standing over it flexing, and it shimmers softly, and if the Lord happens to touch it, other things will happen.
Yeah, all right. You got me. You drunk Lord. All right, he's gonna touch this thing. What is
Yeah.
the little dude? What's he like? Is he made of metal? What is?
The whole thing is one piece, and it appears to be made of like iron.
He's gonna try and grab the little dude.
Little dude picks him up. It's attached to the anvil by his feet. It's all one piece, and
Okay.
he hears music softly.
Just like, do other people hear it, or is it just him?
Just him touching it.
What?
That's pretty cool, right?
Thaddeus, touch this man.
Thaddeus holds up his left hand and says, I'm afraid I already have, sir.
That was awesome.
We should do a duo act sometime.
And that's exactly how Lord Thorn reacts as well. And once he gets over his fit of laughter, he says, actually, I have one question before we see what he says. Did any of you explain to him the diplomatic next steps of what was going on? That there was
I
an
don't think
offer
now's the
for
time.
kobolds to guard the road? No?
I told him that there was more about the situation that we needed to discuss and get his advice on.
Okay. Then he says, that is the best thing and the most funny thing that I have heard and seen in these many moons that I can remember. Huzzah to the two of you! And he raises his tankard, and the rest of the bar also raises their tankards in general. Huzzah! All right. It sounds like there's more work to do, but you guys have done good work. Good job. What did I say that I would do?
Well, why don't we see you in your office in the morning, and we can check on your paperwork maybe.
I'm sure I wrote it down.
And I
Right.
would also let the Lord know about the fires I saw to the south.
Yeah, what's that about?
Not that he will remember this come morning time.
Also, there's a little kobold running around. He's cool. He's with us. His name is
Oh,
Gib.
is Gib with them or is Gib with me?
I think
Where's
Gib's
Gib with
Gib's
me?
Gibbs with them. Gibbs with Grace. Gibbs with
Ooh.
Margery for sure.
Oh yeah, never mind.
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
Wow, killed my ally and stole him.
A lot of different topics touched on right there. All right. The Lord actually, when you guys mentioned the smoke to the south, the Lord actually says, don't worry about that. Mundane said that it was fine.
Oh, okay.
He's got it taken care of. It's all part of his plan to protect the valley, I suppose. Wizard stuff. I don't know. Well, congratulations to you, and to the other ones wherever they went. First round is on Lord Thorn. And he dismisses you with a swig of his tankard.
Wait, before we go, Lord Ungar, would you mind, you're paying for the first one, I really appreciate that. Would you mind just throwing it as hard as you can into me? Just give it a good throw.
I'm sorry.
Just steps about 10 feet away.
Just so we're clear, you want me to throw the money at you or the alcohol?
The whole tankard, cup and all.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No need to make a big deal out of it.
I'm gonna make a big deal out of it.
I'm gonna make a big deal out of it.
And after some hurried conversation, alcohol is provided to Thaddeus and to Margery. Thaddeus, you get whatever you usually get at the at Sylvana's. What is that?
That is a tankard of dark ale.
A tankard of dark ale for Thaddeus, murky and foaming. Margery, you were delivered a tankard of red wine.
I hope it's not foamy.
Gib gets
It's
a
not,
sippy cup
but
of
it is
ale.
way too much. It is like it's
a bottle
the
of
nature of
wine.
a bottle into a tankard. So do with that what you will.
Drink it.
Definitely just taking little tiny sips.
Share it with Gib.
Yeah,
Gib a
I find
fucking
another
hammer.
cup and I pour a little bit so he can lick out of it if he wants.
How much wine do you give Gib?
What size cups do I have?
Sixth of my
Any
7/8.
size that you want. It's a bar. Gib has no standards. He'll drink out of anything.
It's true. I probably find just like a tin cup. I don't know.
Moscow
maybe,
Mule cup.
Yeah, the Moscow Mule cup, and I fill it maybe like 3/4, so that way if he like spills it, there's a little bit more room. If he wiggles his arms.
He takes it in both of his little grippy hands, and he laps at it like a cat.
Oh man.
Gib, is
And
this
then
your first time having wine?
Ironbones kept what little we got. We tend to break a lot of the bottles that we find. But yeah, no, none for us. Also, I'm pretty recent on this mortal plane, so no, not a lot of opportunities.
Gib's a baby.
All kobolds are babies.
Go slow, slow sips.
Go slow, sweetie.
Yes, master.
Fuck.
How loudly does he say that, or is it just like
Into his wine.
okay?
He's taking slow sips, but he's taking them often.
Perfect.
One long slow sip.
Every time you look at him, he is slowly sipping, but you swear that he must be pausing between the times that you're looking at him. He has to be because there's still wine in his glass.
And surely they didn't refill his cup.
They wouldn't do that.
They wouldn't dare.
Okay, felt like there was one other thing I had to resolve, and it was
Sparkeloneous and the Lord.
yes, it was
He's making a
Sparkeloneous
big
and the
deal out of
Lord.
it.
Yes, he is making a big deal out of it. The Lord confers with some folks and also with Sylvana, and he is brought like a small barrel. I don't know what that's called. You know, those little like
Yeah.
that fit under an arm. You know,
They have a specific term. I can't remember what that is.
but whatever that is, we all know what we're imagining now. He has brought one of those, and he says, "This is filled with mead aged in dragon seer husks."
Okay.
And he takes the small barrel under his arm, and he folds it back over his shoulder.
No.
just-
I'm going to avoid this one.
Oh no! But
Don't you throw that big thing at me. I'm very small. I'm just a young lad.
unfortunately, he is drunk and hype.
That'll kill me. Sparkeloneous is
You don't want to try it. You don't want to try and absorb the barrel full of alcohol.
Sparkeloneous is going to do his
Dodge
best
it.
to just try and catch it.
He said no. I'm gonna dodge that one.
All right. Well, it's much too late, so I guess I have to roll for it now.
That's so funny.
What is Lord Thorn's bonus?
Does he have drunk strength added to that?
I feel like maybe I should roll disadvantage because he is drunk.
I think that makes sense.
Okay.
But I'm biased.
Oh,
I'm not gonna
two
lie.
nat
I'm a biased
20s.
party.
Okay.
dead.
How's an 11?
Bad.
Bad.
Compared
Is it
to
11?
a 19.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Can I just catch it with my body? I'm just gonna it's gonna be in me for a second, and then I'm just gonna plop it onto the ground and say, no, I just need one cum.
Yes. Then you, as he hucks this at you, the description is
As a
difficult
bonus
because
action, I can shape myself. I can undo having arms and a head. I can revert to a shapeless blob, and I just absorb that impact, and then it plops out of me, and I reshape myself back into Sparkeloneous.
Yeah, so this is sort of a disconcerting moment for everybody because Sparkeloneous loses all of the components that make him humanoid, and he, using his basically amorphous upper torso, catches and sort of in an S shape brings around and redirects the motion of
Onto
this
a table.
barrel onto a table where it like skitters and then stands upright, and the bar is all like, "Whoa!"
And then Sparkeloneous reforms, and he gives a finger gun to the Lord, and Sparkeloneous said, "I only need one glass." And he grabs a nearby cup, gets one cupful of the dragon's ale out of the keg, throws the cup directly into the air. I'll make a performance check, don't worry. Throws the cup directly into the air. I am going to roll the performance check now. And I get to add double my proficiency bonus now because I'm level 3. So that's a 13 plus 4 is a 17. I think I can throw a cup directly into the air. I do that, and then Sparkeloneous catches the cup in his body, and he says, "And thank you, I've been your opening act, Sparkeloneous. Let's all hear it for Ludimus!"
No, he was not planning on playing, I imagine.
And then Sparkeloneous is going to exit the bar.
Okay. Roll a charisma save with advantage.
That's going to be a 22.
Lord Ungar Thorn is almost literally bowled over by your performance. He falls backwards in his chair and lies splayed in the booth for a second, collecting himself with how stunned he is with your performance all the way through. The bar is just erupts. It's wild. You leave under torrents of alcohol that is being thrown in the air in your honor, and you go outside.
This is a very wet bar now.
This is a very wet bar. I mean,
Get
you,
him off of the floor. Everyone needs to pick Gib up.
Gib has been doused.
Oh, Gib.
Got 2 Haribo alone at his house.
Yeah, no, this is a great time to cut to Haribo at his house. Haribo, talk to me about the direction of your research ? With the belt. What is it that you're up to here?
We zoom in on Haribo's yurt. It's nighttime. It's dark. He is bent over one of his workshop tables, and he is working hard on trying to open the belt. He has a mini smelter on his desk that is going. He has plopped in like 10 of the gold coins to melt them down into like actual liquid gold, and he's working on doing that right now because he's gonna like try to replace some of the broken pieces with this gold and see if he can get an idea on what is working and what is like what functions are here.
Haribo, the character, wants to run some diagnostics for sure.
Exactly.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay. The holdup for me is just sort of trying to figure out what kind of D&D skill this will be as far as how good your investigations go. I'm leaning either sleight of hand or investigation. Happy to accept pitches for other skills if other skills appeal to you.
Investigation I like, because it feels like I would have proficiency in whatever this skill is, and I have proficiency in investigation, so
Yeah, take investigation.
that feels
sounds
tracks. Okay, that's a 13.
All right. I think with a 13, you are able to suss out that some of the recon capabilities of this are back online, and some of the defense capabilities of this are back online, which is excellent. It can, at low danger levels, function in the way that it was intended to. The artificial assistant and guidance system is apparently operational, but something is wrong with the connection to the 3D AV projection system. So that's why you're not hearing or seeing it, despite the little light being on. You've melted enough gold to try and fix that, though.
Yeah, that is definitely the goal there. I'm gonna fix that and see if I see any other things that I can. I think I'm gonna use the gold as sort of like a bolster material, because I think once it hard, I guess gold is soft, but I don't know. That's just what I'm gonna.
I mean,
call
the
it.
channels are there, and gold is conductive. Like
Yeah.
I could see it being sort of threaded this way. Like if this is the route that Haribo is choosing to go, then it is the right route, because Haribo is a Delta technician. And so there are grooves where a conductive material is supposed to go that the hardened conductive material has popped out of. So you simply need to melt that down and refill those.
Yeah,
now
this
that
is
you've
a
had a good
solution,
look at it.
not the best solution, and that's okay for Haribo, because once it's up, we can work on getting it to the best. But we just have to turn it on and get things rolling. So that is what Haribo is working on. He's working on the fine work of getting this gold turned into, I don't know, like the tiny fine gold lines that he's going to need to clip and put in there lightly.
And then give me a sleight of hand with advantage.
15.
Oh yeah, you definitely. I mean, yeah, you know exactly what you're doing, and the grooves are already present, and you've already figured out the lens mechanism that allows you to sort of zoom in and do this precise work. So yeah, the camera is zoomed in on Haribo, hard at work filling in the lines on his space-age circuit board. And the camera then comes back to Margery. Margery, do you happen to remember what your check was for scanning the bar?
Yes, it was a 16.
With a 16, you cast about the bar, and you see a few different groups of interest. You see Ludimus, who he's taking the stage.
How does he look? Does he look sad now that Sparkeloneous is totally taken over the room?
He looks fired up. I would say his expression says fired up. His body language says nervous. He is coming out looking hungry and ready to perform to the best of his abilities, but he is very sweaty. You also see the gambling teens. They are seated at a booth tonight, and they are playing gin rummy. Over at the bar, you see Sylvana. She's still out. She's tending bar tonight. You see at the bar, sorry, I'm having to make some NPC choices here, and it's taking slightly longer than I would have hoped.
I'm taking a long look.
Yeah, Margery's like, who the fuck is over? I swear, can you move, sir? Sir, out of the way. I can't see who's behind you.
I keep having to check on Gib because he's both wet and drunk.
Are you checking on Gib, or are you... I'm not going to allow myself to be distracted by Gib right now.
We're all distracted by Gib, Gabe.
The person of interest that you see at the bar is a gnome seated on a booster stool up at the bar, drinking a lager from a tankard almost half as big as she is.
Oh, you mean Noman Rockwell?
All right, I mean, hell yeah, Norman Rockwell.
Noman
Rockwell.
Okay.
Did you want Noman Rock Gnome? That's not as good, is it?
I don't actually know. I think the double gnome pun there is pretty good.
Noman Rock Gnome.
I don't. That got me.
You're right. The first one didn't, but that one got you. All right. Noman Rock Gnome.
Noman Rockwell.
Gib is doing floor angels.
Oh.
Good lord.
Oh, stinky. Gib, stand up. Go drink some water. Gib, go drink some water.
Yes, master. And he
Don't-
he's swimming. He's swimming away.
Oh. Okay. What vibes am I getting from Norman Rock Gnome?
So much better. You're totally right. That's so much better.
Which I guess somehow I just know that that's her name.
It's not.
It is now. Yes, and Gabriel.
I refuse. She had a name already. Norman Rock Gnome is so much of a better gnome than the character that you may or may not be about to meet. What was your question? I'm sorry.
What vibes is she giving off? Like, because people give off vibes of like, you can come up to me, and some give off vibes like abso-fucking-lutely not. And I feel like as an urchin, I want to.
Oh no, she's got come up to me vibes.
All right, then I'm gonna come on up to her. While I walk up to her, I'm going to just grab an empty cup from a table and bring it up to the bar where she is, and gesture to the bartender just to fill my cup with. Do they have a nice cider maybe? At the bar?
You finish your cup of bottle of wine?
I didn't. I wanted to have a reason to come up to the bar.
Cup of bottle of wine is awesome.
I gave my cup of bottled wine. I left it on the table where Thaddeus and the Lord are. If they feel up to enjoying that wine, that's on them.
You
Gib
went
is
over to
no
talk
one-
to Thaddeus and the Lord?
Well, no. I kind of just like set it on the corner as I walked by. They're probably being loud people and not noticing me. And I'm just gonna have a mission.
You know, that's fair. That they definitely wouldn't, and they were definitely being loud. All right, you sidle up to the bar and you gesture to Sylvana, and takes your goblet. You indicate to her that you would like the cider, and she pours you the cider. Is a regional staple. It's a dragon sear cider. Do you take a swig of it?
I do. I'm not a big swig, but I sip it.
It is sweet and spicy.
Ooh.
It's
I make
tasty.
that-
It's a
I
little
make that
like it's a
sound.
little candy, like it borders on candy, but the spice brings it back.
I look over at the Norman. Okay, whatever the gnome. I look over at her.
Norman Rock Gnome.
You said that it was not their name, and I was trying.
We haven't learned their name yet.
I'm gonna ask her name.
Do it then.
What's your name? What is your name if it's not Norman Rock? No.
Oh, good to see you. Bryrene of Bryrene's Grand Shop. Good to meet you.
Grand
She,
shop of what?
Grand Shop of everything. Grand Shop of what do you want?
It's a good slogan.
Grand shop
Should
of
put it
what do
on
you
the-
want?
It's already on the awning.
Nice to meet you, Bree. How long have you lived here to have your grand shop of whatever you want?
Well, the Grand Shop is grand no matter how long it's been there, but I've been around for I think it's been 6 years. That sounds right. It's been a while, but not like a long while, if you know what I mean.
I don't.
Youngsters.
Did she say that?
Yes. So, what's your name?
Margery.
So Margery. And she gets in and she leans in. Margery, what do you want?
Right now, I want you to not be so up in my grill.
And just as slowly she slides backwards.
Perfect. Thank you.
What do you want?
It's eerie way of putting that. What do I want? Oh gosh.
I didn't realize this was going to be such a difficult question for you. I meant like an object, like
Yeah.
you know
yeah.
what do you want?
would-
What can I put into your pocket, Margery, in exchange for gold coins?
And the sky's the limit, huh? Whatever I'm looking for.
Whatever you want, as many as you've got gold coins for.
All right. Can I purchase like better armor or like find better armor? Is that something I can do? I'm asking you, Gabe. Gabe, that.
I could find you better armor.
I mean, you can
Oh.
definitely find better armor in town. The question is always whether or not you can pay for it. You do have, I think you've got a pretty expanded list. Anything, almost any armor you can probably wear.
I want to ask see if I can get information from her. So I feel like that's also something you can buy monies with. But I don't know what information for our quests I think she could help us with. I have a question about your neighbors. Can you tell me anything more about Neville?
So you're one of those impermanent types.
In training, perhaps?
Okay. Well, for questions of impermanence, I do recommend payment up front. It does ensure a level of accuracy.
Let's say, hypothetically, what would the payment be?
10 gold coins.
10 gold coins. That's some expensive information there, Bree. How tasty is this information? It's 10 gold coins. It better be tasty.
Is 10 gold coins tasty?
I don't like Bree. Bree gives Grace the heebie-jeebies. The heebie-jeebies.
And that's saying something to come from the necromancer.
How does Margery feel about Bree? Margery feels like a cool customer. She's an urchin. And
It's
a necro
true.
urchin at that.
It's true, but she's piloted by someone who's not. I'm gonna try and haggle this price. What do we say about 8 gold coins?
We'll say that it'll be worth 2 gold coins less.
3.
However, she says, and she reaches into, I didn't describe what she was wearing. She's dressed like a marching band marshal, a little bit. I think both in the style and the color choices. She's got the epaulets and all of that. It is green trimmed in gold. She reaches into the breast pocket of her coat and she pulls out a small piece of paper. And she says, however, if you would be willing to promise the 8 gold pieces now and perhaps sign this bit of paper, I could give you many more gold pieces worth of information.
Bree, that sounds sus as hell. Can I see what the paper says before I sign it?
Obviously. What kind of crazy person would even consider not showing the piece of paper?
What it?
She is so sus. Oh my god. Obviously.
What does the piece of paper say? Should she hand it
These
to
are the
me?
reasons why I should never be in sales. Okay. The piece of paper basically says that the person signing is entitled to all of the information that the provider can provide.
Why did she
with a lot of addendums about like bodily health and financial ruin and all of that.
boilerplate, you know?
Yeah. Safety. And then I have to have something that makes you want the deal also, don't I?
No, thank you.
No, wait, no. The information is what you want. Is what you want. The agreement is that you will come into Bryrene's grand shop and spend no less than 25 gold pieces within the month.
Within the month.
Within the month. Should you fail to do so,
I was gonna say, what's the or else?
Arrested.
Should you fail to do so, Bryren is entitled to confiscate 50 gold pieces worth of your possessions.
Oh, that's not a good deal at all.
Only if you don't pay 25 gold pieces.
Also, buy 25 gold pieces worth of goods. It's not just pay 25. So that's a bonus.
That's true.
You can
Also,
upgrade
this is
some
on top
stuff.
of the 8 that you said you're willing to pay now.
Right.
Dang, on top of it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Player Grace is forgetting how is that like the money system? Is there?
So there's 2 answers to this question. In world, this is a lot of money. This is $350.
Ooh.
To you, perhaps this isn't a lot of money because you were just given $500. Maybe you're feeling rich.
Okay. All right. Sure. Money means nothing. I guess I'll sign her. Or I don't. Yeah, I'll sign the contract or the agreement.
Okay. You sign the contract. Make a dexterity save.
Oh, beans. Well, that's just a dexterity. Okay, that would be a 15.
Okay, nothing happens.
Oh.
You sign the contract, and once you've signed it, with one swift movement, Brirene tucks it back into her pocket.
I instantly regret doing this.
Maybe into the other pocket. And Brirene says, "All right, now that all of the formalities are taken care of, what can I do for you? Ask me your questions, and I'll give you my knowledge. You wanted to know about Neville, right?
Yeah.
He's a weird old coot, isn't he?
Oh. Well,
That's what you got for 33 gold pieces? He's a weird old coot?
I'm gonna have to do things to breathe then, I guess.
No, don't look at me like that. I can say a little bit more than that. I know why he's, or at least how he's weird.
Is that his butt?
Things to Bree, I
Is
guess.
it his butt?
No, you pervert. It's not
butt?
his butt. I know that he has a well-developed ass, but damn, why do you have to bring it up like that?
He has 2 other dimensions.
Makes a man
Grace.
feel bad.
I mean, Margery.
I can tell you this: he keeps weird hours. He's up late into the night, and sometimes he's asleep. Sometimes he's asleep during the day. His lights are on way into the night, and sometimes weird-colored smokes come out of his smokestack chimney.
He's got a smokestack and a chimney. What a weirdo.
So, I'm gonna have to breeze. Stupid. What a waste of.
What else do you want to know?
But
about?
now you
25
get
gold
to
of
spend
items for
25
25
gold.
You get 25 gold of items and 20 gold, and you get the knowledge that Bree has, which is that this was a ripoff.
But now you get to spend 25 more gold.
Fucking rocks all over again!
You got fucking robbed. Oh my god.
I will say, in
He's
my
up
own
late.
defense, this is all. It's all that Brirene knows about Neville.
100.
Okay.
He does not live in town.
Very funny.
Just have to clarify for the sake of the narrative moving forward. You could ask her about other stuff also.
Anything.
Really, anything. But I cannot, if you ask her about stuff she doesn't know about, she's going to give you bad answers.
But she will give you an answer.
She's going to try. You paid her 33 gold pieces.
Oh, man.
Oh my god. Poor Grace.
Hey, Grace is really trying to figure out 225 gold worth of questions right now.
Man, we started the session by saying you gotta urch him before you get urched, and you got urched so hard, like right away.
It's because Grace is not an urchin.
Honestly, I would have taken the deal too. That's just the funniest part of it. It's like I was like nodding along, like, yeah, that's a pretty good deal. Because like you're gonna go spend money anyway, so why not just spend it there?
Okay,
for
so
the
I'm
discount.
evil. Can I do things to Bree in revenge for stealing my money?
What do you want to do? Evil character in a crowded bar?
Publicly.
Not
or-
a crowded bar.
Yes, a crowd.
Oh, it's
Crowded bar.
bar.
We
Wait, no, yeah, I'm not gonna
made
do
a
it.
point of it.
No, I'm not doing.
I understand what you're saying now.
Not in a crowded bar.
later. The game is sort of your mindscape. Whatever you can imagine, we can
D&D.
attempt.
Wait,
But
I'm gonna
have consequences.
I'm gonna ask her about what is the wizard's name? Mondaine. I'm gonna ask her about that guy. Maybe she knows anything about him, but that might change my later actions depending on.
All right, I'm gonna give you one more chance.
I'm not giving her more money.
Here's 33 more gold. Now.
I'm just curious because usually people like to gossip. Usually there's some small town. This is a small town.
Now, Mondaine. Now that's one shifty character. He almost never comes out of his tower.
Oh my
he
god.
He maybe only comes into the bar maybe once, maybe twice a month. But you see all sorts of crazy things through those windows. And I would say it would not be hard for you to remember that Mondaine's tower, while being tall, is not smooth.
Oh, so she's been climbing the walls to look through the windows.
She's a snoop, and like a pretty determined one too, it seems like. He's got a whole library in there. He's got a room just for experiments. Man, it's hard to describe magic, but you see different things floating and coming together into shapes, and then the lights change, you know? I've been all over, but I can't say I've ever seen that before. And then in another room, he's just got a bed.
And he sleeps in it.
I've never seen him sleep in it.
How novel.
It's always made, but I never see him in it. I've checked many different hours.
Oh my gosh.
What are the hours of this general store if the owner is always out and about snooping?
Whenever I'm not snooping.
The sign on the front is flipped to out snooping.
Out snooping.
Yep, it's got like a hand-drawn version of the emoji eyes in the style of like Gone Fishing.
Out snooping.
Sundial, not a clock.
Okay, no, I want to give you a tasty bit of information. I'm just trying to think of like what you guys are gonna find tasty, because like what I've just given you could have been tasty. You don't know anything about Mondane. Like I can't really tie it to any quests that you already have. Like he's doing magic in there, and he's got a library, and he's a shifty character. We don't. Bryrene doesn't trust him.
And I don't
Neither
trust
does
Bryrene.
Tamagotchi.
Yeah,
He doesn't tip.
All right.
Okay, well, Bryrene says, well, it seems you're a little perplexed with my mannerisms, but if you have any more questions, and you wanna, cash out that 25 gold, I'm happy to answer anything you've got to ask. I've been Bryrene, but I was here first, so if you want to stop talking to me, you gotta leave.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I saw this neat toadstool one time.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna do a quick Gib check. I'm gonna cast my eyes around.
Yeah,
I need a GC stat.
Gib is with the gambling teens.
From my brief look, can I tell from anyone's faces like how it's going?
It's going well. He's wearing eyeliner now.
Oh, all right. He's on. He'll be
That
fine.
sounds just like Ben and Sven.
I'm gonna go walk closer to Thaddeus and Lord are, and since they're probably in their cups and loud people, I'm gonna like listen in what they're talking about before I walk up to see if that gives me an idea on if it's anything interesting or anything I can kind of like enter into the conversation.
Okay. The way that you've said that makes me want to make it something interesting. But because I haven't thought of anything interesting to say, the camera pans to Sparkeloneous, who's just exited the bar. Sparkeloneous, what are you about?
Sparkeloneous is gonna go to the stables where Barson is asleep, and Sparkeloneous is just gonna lie down next to him to scare him when he wakes up. Sparkeloneous doesn't really need to sleep, he meditates, so he's just gonna get his quick 4 hours in and then be ready to spook Barson whenever he gets up.
Is this a thing that you do often?
Oh, as often as I possibly can.
Okay,
Barson knows
I'm
what
rolling
he
with
does.
Barson
Barson knows what he's done and he needs to be punished.
All right.
That's what my mom always said.
She didn't like
Barson
either.
Barson rolls over in his sleep and sort of adjusts himself, and his eyes like slowly flutter open, and then they get real big. But he doesn't make a sound, and he says, "Good to see you're back, boss."
Nice to see you too, Sparkleone. Nope, I'm Sparkeloneous. Sorry, I just had a really great performance. I'm sort of high on my own supply right now. But yes, it's good to see you, Barson. You should get some rest. We have to go on a long trip tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow? Where are we going?
The mountains.
Oh,
I've been meaning to say, we're going to need your driving expertise. And then Sparkeloneous toots out a guitar solo.
well, nothing makes me feel more ready for a road trip than a tune of yours, Sparkeloneous. Do we have a show date? Are we heading out for a concert? Being behind all these roofs,
It's
these
definitely-
pumpkins.
It's definitely going to be a blast.
It's unnecessarily vague, but I believe in you.
That's good.
I know
boss.
you wouldn't let
Very
me
glad.
down, right?
Let's just
You won't let
say.
me down, boss.
Let's just say it will lead to a lot of opportunities for us. I've
All
already
right.
got us the hookup.
All right,
on
I
a-
like opportunities. I do. All right.
It's called passive income, bossin. I've already got us the hookup on a merchant protection business.
Say less. I like passive income. Sounds great. Sounds great. I'm 115% on board.
All right, now go to sleep. Need you right and peppy in the morning, bossin. Not right
yeah,
now.
boss.
Peppy right now. Fine, also, but
I'll work on it. And he rolls over and he turns away from you, and like 20 seconds pass in silence, and then he says, "Boss,
Yes.
boss, are you awake?
Yeah.
Could you play me a lullaby? Play me that song. Play me that song I like."
All right. Sparkeloneous, he gets his little horn out, and he tuts a very slow, small lullaby, and he sings the words nice and low, where really only just me and Barson can hear. Sparkeloneous. He says, "Play that funky music, white boy. Play that funky music, right. Good night, Barson."
That is the
Good night,
best lullaby ever.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
You killed my
Gabe-
brother.
Gabe also
You
really
killed my
liked that one.
brother.
Yeah, we've gotten him a couple times tonight.
Sorry, everyone. I had to lie down for a second.
I had to lie down for a second. That's awesome.
Okay. Yeah, Barson goes right to sleep. It's his favorite song. Absolutely. Yeah. Camera cuts back to Margery. Margery, you're eavesdropping on Thaddeus and Lord Ungar Thorn. Camera cuts back to Thaddeus and Lord Ungar Thorn. Lord Thorn leans into Thaddeus and says, "So, what do you think of them? The adventurers, you know."
Well, they're growing on me for sure. I'm glad I went with them because they are kind of squishy, but they're resourceful.
Okay. That's good to know. I'll think on it. Thank you, Thaddeus.
Indeed. And then Thaddeus is going to turn the conversation to the Lord about if there's anything he can do about his crop top armor.
I almost hadn't noticed that. Thaddeus. You
No,
make
I
the
like it that
loudest
way.
fashion choices. I just thought that was another one of your goofs, you know. But absolutely, yes, I see. Oh, well, let me have a look at this. If you can peel that off of yourself, it seems like it's got some magical properties.
Thaddeus, between sips of his ale, would try and disentangle himself from it in the least awkward manner possible. Which
Is it heavy
probably-
armor?
It's at the very least medium armor.
Well, I'm
it's
just curious.
Chainmail. It's either
It's
chain or
chain.
scale mail.
Because if it's chainmail, the doff time for chainmail is 5 minutes. So he says take it
Yeah.
off, and Thaddeus in between sips is like spending 5 whole minutes removing the crop top armor.
Okay, the camera fades to Tamagotchi. Tamagotchi, you're in your yurt and you've just finished all of your soldering. What happens?
It's dark in Tamagotchi's yurt. He's created some sort of lamp from some sort of fluorescent rock material. What did I say? His solar-powered lantern, right? He has these rocks that do collect sun. So he's like, he has those around that are giving him some light. Some of the light is from the smelter, but most of the light is from the belt. And as he finishes, he puts the cap back on, and the 3D AV comes to life, and some pixels form up above the belt. It is of just the upper half of like a torso, humanoid torso. Haribo says, Jeeves, can I get a diagnostics report, please?
Certainly. I am currently operating at 15% of my overall capabilities. An impact jarred the chronometer back into its motive track, but it will take quite some time in order for it to spin back into perfect positioning. Due to current systems being in critical state, I will require several more replacements if I am to be restored to my full operating capabilities. Current systems include cursory defensive and minor recon functions.
Haribo says, all right. Location tracking, is that active? I guess, what does Jeeves say, Gabe? That would be a question for you. Which I guess what Haribo is asking at this moment is that this belt is connected, or like when it was fully operational, it was fully connected to like the systems of the Delta, being that they would be able to like locate these at any given time. So like operatives wouldn't be lost. And that is what he's hoping for now in this moment, is like that he has found his way home. Although he doesn't, hasn't thought about what that means, but he's on that path.
I would say that the tracker, like the emergency beacon, is active. It is declaring your position, but the onboard navigational, like stellar GPS, is scrambled.
What does that mean?
It means that the belt can't tell you where you are, but it is broadcasting your location.
Heard. Okay.
The emergency beacon has been activated and is broadcasting our signal out. However, with the onboard stellar positioning systems being critically damaged, I cannot determine our location among the star map, and therefore can only broadcast that signal in random directions in the hopes they will receive it. I will keep trying.
He sits back in his chair. He sighs. Thank you, Jeeves. Please shut down. And Haribo just kind of sits in the glow of his smelter and the like glowstones around his workbench in a little bit of silence and lost in thought. Yeah, I mean, it's not like huge, I think, at this moment for Haribo. Like, it's not like a massively narratively impactful into the scene, but he is like, this is huge for him. He doesn't have any fucking clue. He doesn't have any idea. Yeah. They can see him, but he can't see them.
The beacon.
Are they looking for him?
Is lit.
Know.
Yeah. No, it's
He doesn't. He just has to hope at this moment, if that is what he wants to return home, that they are looking for him. Which, why wouldn't they be? He thinks that is why he's now sitting back in silence. Is that like, up until the moment that he was told it was active, it was like the goal has been to get it active, and now that it is, he is having to process that this now could happen at any moment, that it could be so fast. Haribo thinks that they would really want to collect this belt, so it could be very quick, but he doesn't know. Like, are they looking? Have they given up? He has no fucking clue, and it's kind of on their plate in Haribo's mind now. Like, he needed to get to the belt to this point, because the belt can't get him home. That's not in the belt's mechanics. It can't teleport him home. He can't fly through space with the belt. He can't do those things. So he is at a moment of the moment he's been trying to get to. And now that he's here, he doesn't know. If they come, is he ready to go? Has he, does he need to say goodbye to people? He has no fucking clue. He has no idea. Can he stay? If that is the case, can he do study here? He is totally lost. So he is just kind of sitting at his workbench in quiet contemplation in the dull glow of his smelter as it cools down.
Make a perception check with disadvantage.
10.
Thought you could use some company right about now. You are startled out of your reverie to see Koryak leaning in your doorway.
I lost in thought, busy with some personal work. What brings you out this way, friend? Sorry. He wipes his eyes and he goes towards the kitchenette area to pour some water, I guess, from a pitcher that he has collected before this moment, right? I guess it's just not been standing since he left on his quest a couple days ago.
He's got just like a puddle in his sink.
Yeah. Would you care for some old standing water, friend? Just kidding, it's fresh. He pours us glasses, and I sit at the table. And I offered the other seat on the opposing side of my table, my small 2-person table, to Koryak.
He takes the water and he takes a sip of it, and he goes over to the kitchenette And he actually starts making tea.
Oh, perfect.
And
Sorry, I don't know where my head is at. You know where the tea is.
I can see that, and maybe we can talk about that a little bit. I saw you were back. I saw, the lights weren't on in your hut for a night or so, but I saw them come on just a while back, and I thought I'd come over, see how you were doing. It seemed like you were getting more action out this way than you'd seen in your travels.
Yeah. After we saved you and the other gents from the diggings, we went and confronted the kobolds who have been causing the troubles in the area. It's just, one thing after another thing to solve in the end, which I am feeling anxious lately about, but also I would say excited by. In my time here, it has been just sort of day to day, point A to point B, without much of a purpose besides, I guess, leaving. And the past few days or week or so since that carriage rolled into town, I would say that things have felt more purposeful. And yet, I think I have finally reached the point where leaving is an option, and it is become worrisome. I don't quite know what to do in this moment. I appreciate you coming by, friend. I really, really do. It's good to see a nice face, or a friendly face.
This is Gabe asking.
Yeah.
I'm just clarifying. So you have told Koryak about your extraterrestrial origins?
Nope.
Because lot of what you
I
were...
know.
A lot of what you were saying.
My barriers are down right now. I'm in a weird mix. I was in work mode. I don't think anyone has ever seen this work mode from me. So he has broken down this barrier at the only opportune moment to talk about it.
Okay, excellent. Good.
I don't even think Haribo doesn't register that.
He says, You're very welcome. You're very welcome, friend. You're on my mind a lot. I look after you. I feel like a little bit. Getting to know you at our tea parties. You've drawn my interest, as it were. The same way that I recognize that you were home. I've kept an eye on your yurt a few times over our knowing of each other, and I must say, I have seen things, seen lights of a color and a frequency that it's hard to explain with magic. And then there's the way that you talk. Even just now, some of the things that you say, they're peculiar. I don't know. I'm just a goblin. You could be just a weird fella, but I don't know. It seems like there's something more to you.
Haribo stands and he opens up a cabinet and he grabs a bottle of fire wine or whatever or whatnot that he has stashed away. And as Koryak pours the tea, Haribo tops himself off, his tea off with a little bit of the fire wine, and he offers some to Koryak.
Absolutely, thank you.
And tops him off and says, I may have slipped up a little bit just now, but you since coming here, you have been probably my closest friend. I have grown close with Minerva as well, and a few other folk in Decrum, and recently with the crew I find myself adventuring with. But I feel that we have shared things that I may not have shared with anyone else had my defenses been maintained. You seem to break them down. I feel comfortable around you, and I do trust you. Koryak, I've spent a lot of my time here trying to get to understand magic. And as you say, some of the things that you may have seen coming out of my hut in the wee hours of the night are difficult to explain with magic. I am not, I'm not from around here, and in my time here, I have not found a way to describe where I am from. I'm from a place outside, above. It's very difficult. He takes a sip. If I can, I will show you one day, but I am not from here. I am from elsewhere, but I have been put here by accident of sorts. And he looks over at the belt and he says, I think through the adventuring with my compatriots recently that something has jarred into place, and it seems like those whom I have left behind might soon be able to find their way back to me. And for so long, that is exactly what I wanted, to return home with those that I know. But now I know folk here like yourself and Minerva and the folks, and yeah, it has become difficult in this moment now that I have realized I may have gotten exactly what I wanted, that maybe I don't know exactly what it is that I do want anymore.
Well, it seems like you've said a lot without saying a lot, you know? But I really think that,
Come with me, come with me. And I grab my mug and I walk towards the door and I throw open the front door and I walk outside.
Okay, he follows you.
And I walk out onto the hill away from the yurt, and we look up, and the sky is floor to ceiling stars at night, just
For
like
sure.
everywhere.
Yes.
And I point up, and I say, that, my friend, is where I am from. I am from up
Who needs
there.
a Milky Way when you can see bands of stars going in 3 directions?
Yeah, fuck you, Milky Way, you stupid piece of shit galaxy.
Aw.
Oh, Milky Way stands out there.
Oof, we've just alienated so much of our audience.
So much
He's
of our
just doing
audience.
his best.
Most of them are going to be mad about that one. Calling out our home like that.
I'm sorry, we were
Haribo-
having a moment.
No, yeah, Haribo looks at that. He says, that is where I'm from. Up above there, among the stars and the space out there. It is much larger and more vast than you could ever imagine, than I could ever imagine. I am from that space up there. It is. He's like lost for words, I think. It is not, I think, that I am being. I would love to tell you everything. When I can figure out how to do just that, you are the only one I think I will tell. I feel very comfortable. Out there from, I can't point to exactly where, but somewhere out there in that grand space is where I am from, and where my family will come from looking for me.
Maybe you don't have to tell me. Maybe you can teach me. You come from somewhere so far away and you have so much knowledge. I know maybe this is a big ask, but it seems like there's so much that I could learn from you that I could take back to my people. Our tribe is in sort of a tough way. Maybe it's crazy, but I think there's a way that you could help us. You could help my whole tribe by teaching us what you know.
Koryak, that has been my entire life's goal for the past, long before I came here. I think that is why I began the work I began, to do things just like that. So I jump at the opportunity. Any moment in the midst of all of the turmoil of the quest around us at the moment, I would love to stop by and we can begin some lessons on what lies outside our space above.
Thank you, Haribo. You don't know how much that means to me, that you'd say that. I'll be counting on you.
Nope. Fuck.
That's
Sorry.
not my name.
The fire wine is getting to me.
Who's Cube? Wait, is that?
But yeah, the
No,
kobold.
is there from before?
Yeah, he's made quite an impact on me.
You called me.
I did call
I don't
you
even
Lizard
sound
Guy.
like him.
I
Some best
know.
friend.
You
It's not
don't
even like
sound
we're voiced by the same person.
I know. You know what? And I know that too. I've thought about it. What I meant was Koryak.
Of course it was.
Of course it was. Koryak.
That wizard tower is not the only thing that's on fire right now.
Yeah. Koryak, I have made acquaintances since I've moved here, and even a few friends, those I would call friends. But since coming here in the year, a little over a year, I have been marooned in this place. I have felt alone, and I want to thank you for making me not feel so alone here in this place anymore. Cheers, friend.
I don't know.
And I hold up my cup.
Yeah, the two of you cheers, and then I think the camera zooms out to the two of you looking up at the triple Milky Way stellar formation. Thaddeus, the Lord's looking at your crop top that you've taken off during the interim, and he says, "Well, Thaddeus, you've made quite the excellent find. Not only have you discovered some excellent rings of dwarven make, but they have on top of that been mildly enchanted. I will say there are pros and there are cons to this enchantment. The pros are that you will receive mechanical bonuses that the dungeon master will explain to you. And these mechanical bonuses, not only will it provide you with +1 to your armor class, you will also receive a +1 to your Constitution saving throws. You will also receive 1 additional short rest charge. You can heal up one additional time while wearing these chains. So those are the pros. They make you more fit. And they'll let you to rest easier and faster. They're light and breathable. However, in order to make them into a suit that befits your stature, because they are additionally magical, I will need 1 additional component. I will need an alchemical ingredient that you can acquire from a creature out in the wilderness. It shouldn't be too difficult, but I will need that to sort of lubricate the process.
And what is that ingredient?
And the camera shifts to Margery.
Giving himself 1 to 2 more weeks to figure out that ingredient.
Margery. What's up? What are you up to?
Remember, I'm eavesdropping, so I too am about to listen to what the ingredient is.
We all wait with bated breath to find out what the mystery ingredient is. The camera zooms out and away past Thaddeus and Lord Thorn, past Margery, where she stands to the side listening and sipping whatever it is that she's sipping, past Barson and Sparkeloneous asleep in their wagon. Even further, past Decrum, it sweeps past the yurt and the pair of friends watching the starscape. And it spins around towards the south, where it rests on Wilhelm Fella, just by himself, wandering up the road, also admiring the starscape. But the way the camera frames it, in the foreground we see Wilhelm, but in the background we see the column of smoke in the pine forest.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Dungeons, Drive-Ins, and Dice, A Wider World, DM'd by Gabe Stringer. Players this season are Lawrence Jennings as Sparkeloneous, Grace Stringer as Margery Ridgeback, Mike Harrison as Thaddeus Ofkoot, and myself, M. Williams as Haribo Tamagotchi. We want to take a moment to give a huge shout out to friend of ours, music producer Tyler Poe, who created some of the soundscapes you heard in this episode. If you want to hear more of the things that he creates, go check him out on Spotify at Tyler David Poe, or wherever you get your music. If you want your name mentioned as a character in our show, like in the last episode, make sure to tweet about us using hashtag DDAD, or leave us a review wherever you listen in for your chance to be included in a future episode. We also make a bunch of stuff for use in your home games. Matter of fact, our very first Kickstarter is just about to drop. Make sure you stay tuned in to here and our Twitter and Instagram for all the information as it comes. You can check us out there at DDADPOD, that's DDAD Pod, or even on the Patreon, where members can access our entire catalog of items, or even our first season of the podcast, Deltadon, at patreon.com/DDAD Podcast. We will see you folks on June 6th for the next episode. Talk to you then.
I'm not gonna lie, we gotta go to goblins. Like, yeah, there's a fire going on, but we got goblins to go save.
Yeah, Wilhelm fella is doing shit, but like at least one, we don't know that. We know about the fire, but like we have such a prime directive right now.
It's honestly none of our business.
It is. Don't say that.
Oh, we made
You
it
made
our
it business just now. You can't say. And he walks away whistling. He tosses the gas can to the. It's none of your business. Don't look over here. Pan away. Pan away.
I'm not doing anything you need to be looking at.
This could be bad guys. What are you talking about?
I'm burning bad guys.